what I've come to realize is that when we talk about drugs, we're not talking about an objective reality. The drugs are constituted of the compound, the chemical, and the context or the culture. And an example that I like to bring up and that I wrote about in my piece on conscious cannabis culture that people can check out on Substack is tobacco. And tobacco is a plant, discovered in the New World in the 1600s, but it's a plant that has a context in indigenous culture that is medicinal. If you go to an ayahuasca ceremony, a medicine ceremony, if you go into these indigenous contexts, they're using tobacco ceremonially in a very particular way, in a way that is used to sort of cleanse the body. It involves purging. And for them, tobacco really has a spirit, and it's viewed as something that can bring healing, something that can bring clarity. And then you take that plant and you bring it through into a particular context of market capitalism, through the 1940s and 50s, probably long before that. And you get the cigarette industry, and it's exploitative and it's addictive. And there's no sense of sacredness. There's no sense of intentionality. And it's propagated very widely, and it leads to these huge health implications. So we have in that instance one plant with two very different cultural contexts. And what I'm saying is that's true of all compounds, all plants, even things that, people think this is a good drug, this is a legal drug, this is something pharmaceutical. That drug in one dose is poison and deadly, and in another dose is medicine. So we have to be very nuanced when we're talking about this, even with things like amphetamines, even with many of the drugs we talked about. I think there are probably contexts, doses, and particular ways in which those might be useful. We might use them with wisdom in certain cases in a medical context. But again, with this kind of immature approach, we said these are the bad ones, these are the good ones, and we need to get a lot more nuanced.